Let me tell you about the moment I almost turned this movie off. About 4 minutes in, animation looked a little rough around the edges. The jokes were coming fast and loose. My brain was already halfway somewhere else, phone in hand, half watching. Doing that thing we all do where we're technically present but not really there. And then a little girl put on a magic animal cracker, turned into an elephant, and looked at her parents with this expression of pure, ridiculous joy. I put my phone down. I didn't pick it back up for the rest of the film. So here's the world. Owen and Zoe are a young couple, trying to figure out life the way young couples do. With good intentions and not quite enough money, and that particular low hum of anxiety that comes from loving people and not always knowing how to show it properly. Owen's family runs a struggling circus. The kind of circus that's one bad week away from closing forever. Bright painted wagons, threadbare costumes. Performers who've been there so long, they remember when it was something. When Owen's Uncle Bob passes away, leaving the circus to Owen and Zoe instead of his scheming brother Horatio, everything shifts, and then they find the box. A small, worn wooden box full of animal crackers. The magical kind. The kind where you eat one and you become the animal on the cracker fully. Completely lion, tiger, gorilla, elephant. The whole wonderful, terrifying, glorious lot of them. And suddenly, two people who had absolutely no idea how to run a circus have everything they need to save one. If they can keep the box away from Horatio first. Here's what I didn't expect from a Netflix animated movie I almost didn't finish. The crackers aren't really the story. The circus isn't really the story. The story is Owen. Owen, who grew up in this circus and left, who made a life away from it and convinced himself he didn't miss it. Who carries this quiet guilt about the family he stepped away from, the performers who became family. The uncle who never stopped believing in him, the whole bright, threadbare world he decided wasn't enough for him anymore. And coming back, inheriting this struggling, beautiful, broken thing forces him to stand in the middle of everything he chose to walk away from. I've done that. Stood in the middle of something I left and felt the complicated weight of it. It's the love that survived the leaving. It's the people who stayed when I didn't. The particular mix of gratitude and guilt that doesn't have a clean name. This movie knew about that feeling. Quietly. Without announcing it. There's a scene where Owen has to become the animals one after another to keep the circus going through a single night of performances. Just him, transforming, failing, trying again, getting it wrong, and getting back up, and getting it more right each time. It's played for laughs. It's also the whole movie. It's a man learning that you can come back. That the things you left don't always close the door on you. That sometimes family chosen in blood and the kind that forms under circus lights leaves the light on even when you walked away from it. Horatio is the kind of villain who's more sad than scary. A man who grew up in the shadow of his more beloved brother and decided that bitterness was easier than love. Who wants the circus, not because he loves it, but because he was never given it? The wound of being overlooked dressed up as ambition. I've met people like Horatio. I think most of us have. The ones whose cruelty is really just old hurt wearing a disguise. The third act is chaotic and funny and runs a little fast, the animal cracker. Transformations are genuinely inventive in places. The circus sequence has a real breathless energy, and yes, it's all wrapped up a little too neatly at the end. But the neatness felt earned rather than lazy, because this isn't a movie trying to be complicated. It's a movie trying to be warm. And it is. Completely and without apology. Warm. Is this Pixar? No. Is this going to win awards? No. But here's what Animal Crackers does that. I think gets overlooked because the packaging is so bright and so loud and so obviously aimed at kids. It tells a genuinely true story about the thing we do to the people and places that shaped us. The way we outgrow them or think we do. The way life calls us back sometimes. And what it means to show up for the inheritance, not the money, not the property, but the love that was left for you by someone who believed in you more than you believed in yourself. That's not a kid's story. That's everyone's story. If you've got kids, watch this with them this weekend. Make popcorn. Sit close. And if you haven't got kids, watch it anyway, on a quiet night when you need something that doesn't ask too much of you, but gives a little more than you expected. And if there's something you left someplace, some person, some part of yourself you walked away from and told yourself you didn't miss, maybe just sit with that for a minute after the credits roll. Sometimes the magic box was always there. You just had to come back to find it. If this kind of video is your thing, subscribe and stay a while. I'll keep finding the warm thing inside the loud thing. See you next time.